Alright, writers. Today we're going to be thinking about giving characters struggles and motivations. And as we do that, I want us to think about the stories we've already started to develop. You've already collected some characters that you're going to be putting in your stories, and you've thought about their internal and external traits. Now, with so many characters, that might get a little crazy. Now, we know in life, everybody wants something, and sometimes things get in the way of our wants. And we also want to develop characters by thinking about what do they like as people. Some of the things we might think about are collections they have. Do they collect stamps, coins? What are the favorite clothes that they have? Do they have a special place on Earth or treasures? What are they worried about? Do they have funny quirks about them or secrets that they don't like to tell? What are their relatives like? How do they walk, talk, and gesture, moving their hands? Do they have any rituals for how they wake up or go to sleep? What do they do around meals and meal times? What are their best friends like? What are they like on the phone? We think about all of these things as we start to develop our characters. Now, today, I want to teach you that every fiction writer needs to know what his or her character wants and what keeps these characters from getting what they want. So, I want us to take a look at a mentor text. Think back to when we read Fireflies. Do you remember that story? About the little boy who went and caught fireflies, and then he let them go because they were dying in the jar next to him? Well, let's take a look at the beginning of the story. This is where the author really shows what this character wants. Notice what the character does to show and not just tell the reader what this character, the boy, wanted. I ran from the table down to the cellar to find a jar. I knew where to look. Behind the stairs. The jars were dusty, and I polished one clean on my shirt. Then I ran back up 2 steps at a time. Holes, I remembered, so they can breathe. And as quietly as I could, so she wouldn't catch me dulling them, I poked holes in the top of the jar with Mama's scissors. The screen door banged behind me as I ran from the house. If someone said don't slam it, I wasn't listening. I called to my friends in the street. Fireflies! But they had come before me with polished jars, and others were coming behind. Now, writers, do you see what this author did to show what the little boy wanted? You could tell that he really wanted to go catch fireflies because he goes down and finds a jar super quickly. He cleans it off and pokes holes. And it even says that he doesn't notice if he slams the door behind him. He's so excited to go catch fireflies that he forgets to close the door quietly. This is how the author shows and doesn't just tell us that the boy is excited to go catch fireflies. I also want to remind you of some of the work we did earlier this year. Remember when I talked to you about my character Luce from that story in the fall, and how she wanted to not be afraid of the dark, but her fears kept getting the best of her? Well, I want to do the same work that I did back then, but I want to do it with my story now. Remember, I'm writing a story about my cat Jonas, and how he was rescued, and I kept him from being homeless. Now, my character is going to be based off of me too, so his name is Justin. And one of the things that Justin wants to take care of a homeless cat, but he isn't sure if he has enough time to do so. Now, after I think about what my character wants and what gets in its way, I want to jot just a quick scene of what that can look like. This is what my scene looks like. As Justin rode the subway with his new little black cat in its carrier, he wondered if he had made the right choice. I'm never home, he thought to himself. Would this be the best place for a cat to live? As the subway continued to make its way through the city, Justin kept looking into the cat carrier and into the eyes of his new friend. The cat looked up and very softly purred. It was in that moment that Justin knew he had made the right choice. Do you see, writers, how I show that I want to take care of that cat, but I'm also conflicted and I'm not sure if I can? Let's take a look at another example of me showing a character wants, but something gets in their way. Justin wants to train Jonas to be a good cat and not scratch or use the restroom in the toilet. But he doesn't have the time to do it. Here's the scene I wrote for that. Justin returned from work and entered his apartment that had bits and pieces from his pillow tossed about. That cat had now torn up his pillows. Justin didn't know what he was going to do. He searched online to see how he could fix this. But after searching online, everything looked like it would take so much time. He didn't know what to do, especially since he was always at work and never had enough free time to train a new cat. Something had to be done. Writers, notice that at the top, I'm starting with what a character wants, but something gets in their way. Take a look how I set up my notebook page. I did a quick jot that shows what my character wants, but something gets in their way. Then right below it, I jotted a quick little scene that shows that want and obstacle. Today, what you are going to do is you are going to start building your storyline out of your character's motivations and struggles. Once you know what your character yearns for or wants and struggles to have, then it's wise to create little scenes that show this. Where could they be? What could they be doing? I want to share with you one last example that a student did in the past. Here's one scene that shows a character's traits. I thump, thump, thump down the stairs into the kitchen. Hurry, we're having tomato soup tonight. Mom, I hate tomato soup, I yelled. You have to. I don't gotta, I said in a strong voice. Go upstairs right now, young lady, she said. I thumped back up the stairs and yelled, I hate you. That's when my mom got really mad. I picked up the phone and dialed Sarah's number. Hello, she said. What's up? I said. Nothing up. I got punished. Alright, writers, so you just learned how we can develop our characters even more by giving them struggles and motivations. Now, remember, in every good book, characters want something very badly, but they can't just get it right away. So, in your notebooks or on your Google Docs, you want to develop character wants, but something gets in their way. After you've done it once, try a second time. Maybe there's a different thing that your character wants, but something could get in their way. Or maybe a third. Remember, we're still in the drafting phase, so you don't have to settle on one of these ideas. But good writers always have a bank of things to choose from. So you never know which option you might choose for your final draft. All right, writers, get to work, and I'll see you tomorrow.